Well, partnering is absolutely critical. First of all, because we were made by God to live and work together. God lives in community outside of time. And in the Garden of Eden, he made it very clear he wanted us to work together. Sin, of course, destroyed relationships. So now we're struggling. And here in the West, particularly in the United States, we're very, very good at entrepreneurial, highly innovative kind of stuff. Usually it's very individualistic. So the challenge of working together is enormous, but it's absolutely biblical. And of course, all throughout business and industry, we have found throughout the years that you have to work together. You can never go it alone. There are wonderful biblical illustrations. But business, because truth is always God's truth wherever you see it, business has proven again and again and again that unless people can collaborate, you will never, ever achieve the kind of outcomes you're looking for. It's a God principle, and that's the reason fundamentally we have to work together. There's greater efficiency, there's greater effectiveness, there's higher credibility for the message, and at the end of the day, more people come to Christ sooner, and the church is established quicker, and it's a stronger church. Well, the Scripture, of course, is full of wonderful partnership stories and amazing things that happen because people work together. But in contemporary terms, you think about mission and evangelism, particularly in frontier areas, there are some extraordinary illustrations. In 1991, 75 people came together at the Salisbury Road YMCA in Hong Kong to talk about one thing. Outer Mongolia, there are two Mongolias. Inner Mongolia is a province of China. Outer Mongolia is a sovereign, separate nation, has been for hundreds of years. But it was beginning to open up after the dark days of communism, and people were saying, what can we do in Mongolia that would be effective, and should we all go in there individually? Well, we were able to help bring people together, and all these folks sat around and basically asked one question: is there anything we can do in Mongolia better if we do it together rather than if we do it separately? And to cut a very long story short, after 3.5 days of very tough talk and prayer and talk and prayer and negotiation, they agreed, yes, there were a wide range of things that could only be done together. Now, if you fast forward the tape to now, from 1991, it's about 14 or 15 years later. This is about one generation. Go to Mongolia today and you'll find somewhere between 60 and 100,000 believers after 2,000 years of darkness. A flourishing Mongolian church, Mongolians impacting every level of society, business, education, government. And I'm absolutely convinced it's because God's people came together and did together what they could never, ever do separately. All partnerships, whether it's in your neighborhood, you want to try to reach the folks that live around you, whether it's some vision you have for the city, maybe you're a Christian coach, and you really are interested in influencing young, emerging athletes for Christ, whether you're talking about an unreached people group, no matter what your vision is, all partnerships are driven by hope and a vision of the future. So first of all, you have to have a vision. Second, you need to begin to identify the people who also somehow relate to this topic. You know, the quickest way to kill a partnership, we say many times, is to call a meeting. Now, the natural inclination is to say, let's just find all these folks and get them in the room and say, wouldn't it be nifty if we could work together? Well, it doesn't work quite like that. The more time you spend praying and getting to know the people privately, what their heart is, what their vision is, and getting to sense what kind of consensus there may be, then bring them into the room and talk. So in terms of practical next steps, I'd say, has God given you a vision? Are you willing to spend the time getting to know the people who may share some aspect of that vision? Would you be willing to spend the time, make the investment to cast a very simple idea? Is there anything we could do better together than if we work separately? And then are you willing to come in and help those people talk and pray about what that might be? Partnership, effective long-term collaboration for the kingdom is not an event. It is a process. It's a process of God's people working together takes time, takes a champion, a woman or a man who's resolutely committed to a particular vision and also committed to that process of God's people working together. The future really is in God's people working together. Clearly, as you think about what is the future of partnership, we have to say that the old days of everybody just doing their own thing, those approaches really don't hold water anymore. Sure, we need entrepreneurs. Sure, we need men and women of strong character, entrepreneurial vision, people of great faith. But we must, because of the complexity of the world, the interlocking elements of the world, we must work together. It's a biblical principle, and now it's been proven countless times around the world in the last 20 years. The God pattern is today's pattern for effective ministry.